Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing tonight? I hope everyone's doing well out there. We've got a very special stream tonight. For those of you that don't know, while I've been on YouTube, I started a podcast of sorts. And it's been a lot of fun just to kind of get to talk about movie news and just whatever I want to talk about, movie news, music news, really anything I just feel like talking about. It was kind of a good way to, in my eyes, like when I was over on, Twitch back in the old days, we would do just chatting for like an hour before we started gaming or anything. So to me, sorry, I'm like losing my voice a little bit. Bad time for this as I'm hosting an award show. And to me, it kind of felt like a way to bring back that old energy of just kind of hanging out, talking with you guys and chat about whatever I felt like talking about, whatever's going on in the news with movies, music, games, shows, whatever, just anything, sports, anything, tier list, all that. So I also realized that this would be the perfect platform to do the Bravo Awards. Now, this is technically the second annual Bravo Awards. The Bravo Awards are my own award show, obviously, where I basically just go through, have a bunch of different categories and nominate my favorite movies, shows, games, music, everything, and I give out my awards for all my favorite stuff of the year. Last year, I only did it for movies, and I combined it with my top 10 movies of 2022 list. So this year, I figured I have my own podcast. I have this platform. I might as well just, make an actual little mini show out of it. So I think that's what we're going to do moving forward. It's something that I do put a lot of time and thought into. Because I'm a nerd and I just sit around and I think about my favorite movies and shows and everything that comes out in the year or just in general. So I figured, the top 10 movies of the year only shows love to those 10 movies. But if I do my own award show, I could show love to TV shows, I could do games, I could do music, whatever. So that's what we're doing. That's what the Bravo Awards are. It's really just my way of showing love to my favorite projects that came out all year. I will say I did slack a little bit in 2023. The beginning of 2023, I got off to a slow start with seeing movies and watching stuff. Middle of 2023, I was in rhythm. I was going crazy. And then end of the year, completely just burnt out because I work retail and Christmas season was crazy, so I just had no free time, and then I got the flu on top of it. So there's going to be some gaps and stuff that I saw. So if your favorite stuff isn't nominated, I apologize. I probably didn't see it, to be honest. Yo, what's going on, Jeff? How you doing, bro? Yeah, 2 award shows going on at the same time. I know I'm competing with the Emmys right now, I understand. We're not there yet, but my show is going to be a lot quicker and straight to the point. So we're and it's just my picks. It's just my honest picks. But I thought it'd be a fun thing to do every year, because like I said, the top 10 movies of the year list is cool, which I am working on. Hopefully that'll be out by the end of the month, I'm hoping. I'm still trying to lock in my list for sure. So it's just a good way to show love. I want to do this every year moving forward. And I will say this year is a little light on the music because I just didn't listen to that much new music this year. So there's only one music award being handed out this year. And if you know me, it's not going to be surprising what wins the music award. But we're going to get into it. I want to give a little bit of time for some people to get in here and stuff, but we're going to start the award show. So we're gonna get into this real quick. Yeah, the flu really took me out. And halted all progress for the end of the year. I missed so many movies that came out this year, or came out in like December because of the flu. It was a mix of the flu and the Christmas schedule. But it is what it is. My goals for 2024 is to see more movies this year than I saw last year. I want to see more shows that I that I saw this year. Like, I want to just up everything. I want to listen to more music, just everything. Because like music, I don't know, music, I'm like, it's almost like every other year I listen to a lot of new stuff, but it's weird. I kind of just get comfortable with the music that I know and I just listen to it over and over again. So that's why there's not really any music representation this year, and I'm kind of sad about it, but I gotta just do better and listen to more stuff. Anyway, I think we should get this stuff started, chat. I think we should get this shit started. The second annual Bravo Awards. And chat, I want to know in the chat if I'm on some bullshit, if I'm snubbing stuff, if my picks are bad. And also for next year, let me know if there's like some categories that you would like to see that I don't have here. Because I would really like to find a way to involve you guys with the Bravo Awards somehow. So if you guys like have any categories that you think would be fun to see, let me know. I did some fun categories. I did like the standard like award categories, and I also threw some different ones in there. So let me know what you guys think of the categories, and we can like add stuff for next year. And just any suggestions in general. But anyway, like I said, this award show is completely my opinion. Everything I nominated were my favorite things of the year, and the wins are based off of just simply my opinion. There's no mathematic equation. It's just my opinion. So let me know your guys' opinions in chat, what you would have picked, what you would have nominated if I snubbed something. Like, I want you guys to sound off. I want you guys to sound off in chat. What did I snub? What should have won? You know, let me know if I'm just have some ass takes. Let me know. But here we go. We're gonna get to it. What's up, girl? How you doing? What up? All right, let's get into this. I'm sorry to all of the Wonka fans out there. I did not see Wonka still. I did, so there will be no Wonka representation. I apologize. I apologize to all the Wonka fans out there. But those nerd gummy clusters by Wonka, fire. I will say that. That would win my snack of the year. So the only music award that's being handed out this year is Best Album of the Year, because I simply did not listen to enough music. And if you know me, you know what's about to pop up right here. You guys know what's about to happen. Album of the Year goes to... I'm wearing the merch right now. I'm wearing the merch from the concert right now. I hosted a listening party on stream where I got called a Travis Scott glazer the entire stream, which I am. So, you know, it is what it is, you know. Call a spade. I'm a Travis glazer. Yeah, when this came out, it just dominated everything. I didn't listen to anything else pretty much. I do want to give some special shout outs. My second album of the year would have been the Idol soundtrack by The Weeknd if it was put out as an actual album, but like the show, it kind of got cut a little short. So The Weeknd never put out a full album for all the music he put out for the show. It was just a bunch of little EPs. So it doesn't really count for album, but if it were compiled as an album, that would have been my number 2, because I listened to those songs so much and they were fire. If you guys haven't listened to the music that The Weeknd made for The Idol, listen to it. Don't watch the show, listen to the music. So my actual second place runner-up album of the year is Austin by Post Malone. That was a great album. I loved it. It's just, you know, Utopia and Austin dropped on the same day. So my 2 favorite albums of the year dropped on the same day, which is crazy. It's just, I didn't get to Austin because I was so consumed by Utopia. But when I actually gave Austin the time of day, it just also took over my life. I listened to it so much. So if you guys like Post Malone, even if you don't like Post Malone, it's kind of him trying something different, more like alternative than instead of like his pop and like hip hop stuff. So I really loved Austin. I was hoping for him to make an album like that. So that would be my second place. But the winner is Utopia by Travis Scott. I literally, chat, on the Apple Music roundup for the year, and I did this in November. So this was before I even went to the concert. So there was a whole nother month of me listening to this album. I listened to Utopia. Hold on, let me get the correct number here, chat. It's astronomical. Chat, take a guess how many times I listened to the album in total. In total. Because Apple Music counted it. And remember, it's a month short too. We'll do a little over or under. How many times do you think I listened to this full album? As I find the actual number in my phone somewhere. There it is. Oh, it's actually higher than I thought. That's crazy. I was about to lie to you guys. I was going to say a completely different number. Let me hear a guess of how many times you think I spun this album. So it's not a glazer, like a glazed donut. So a glazer basically is like a fanboy, a dick rider, whatever terminology you want to use. That's like what a glazer. So like if you glaze someone, it means you're kind of just like, you know, kissing their ass, sucking them off, whatever, you know, whatever your image you want to put in your head. That's what I do to Travis Scott. Shut the stream down. Shut the stream down. We're done. We're done. Yeah, Post Malone's a W. Post Malone's a W. He definitely got my second place. You are correct technically. And this isn't even in the ballpark. I listened to, this is from November 29th. As of November 29th, I listened to Utopia by Travis Scott 522 times. It is what it is, you know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is. I did that. That's crazy. I couldn't believe it. My eyes popped out of my head when I saw that. So yeah, it had to win album of the year. It literally had to. I gave it a 98% on the Bravo barometer because I think there are a couple songs that aren't the strongest, but it's only a couple. Otherwise, I think the album is basically a masterpiece. I don't think it's as good as Rodeo or Astroworld, but I think it's right under that. There's a couple songs I don't listen to all the time, so that's why it didn't get the perfect 100%, but I really could have given it the 100% if I had to. I could have if I wanted to. Favorite songs, again, really almost the entire track list is my favorite song, but the songs I listened to the most were Thank God, God's Country, Sirens, I Know, and then I put My Eyes on there because I think My Eyes is like objectively the best song on the album. And then for best features on the album, I did SZA, Beyonce, West Side Gun, and shout out to Drake as well. Drake had a really fun feature, but I just thought SZA, Beyonce, West Side Gun all just destroyed the songs that are on. And also Kid Cudi had a great feature as well. Every feature really did their thing. 21 had some great stuff on there also. So that's an obvious award if you know me, you know, if you tune to my music streams and stuff and you know me, you knew that was coming. 419 for Austin. Yeah, it's a W. Austin was a great album. I think I got like, it might have been like 200 for Austin just because this monstrosity took over. But now we move on to the Bravo Award nominations for Game of the Year. So every category, I have like a max of 6 nominations. Obviously, games is kind of tough because, you know, you got to pay most of the time to play them. So not a full 6, but the ones I nominated were Spider-Man 2, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, God of War Valhalla, which was technically a DLC, but it was so good that I put it on there anyway. Fortnite, which technically didn't release this year, but with games like that where they get constant updates, I count them. And Fortnite had a crazy resurgence this year with like the Fortnite OG update, the new season right now. Like Fortnite had a big year, and that's the game I'm having the most fun on right now. So I gave Fortnite a shout out. And also The Last of Us Part 1. It technically is a remaster of the original Last of Us game. So that also, did it come out this year? No, but like, but you know, the remaster came out this year, so I just nominated it, threw it up there. Oh yeah, Alan Wake didn't get up there. I'm sorry. To be fair, Alan Wake also came out a long time ago. Alan Wake 2 did come out this year. I just didn't play it, and I want to play Alan Wake 2. So if you guys want to see some Alan Wake 2 streams, let me know. I am going to play that game at some point. I didn't like the first game, no secret. If you turn into the streams, you saw me rage at that game nonstop. I did not enjoy that game, but I heard the second one's a literal masterpiece, so I will play it at some point. So the winner of Game of the Year at the Bravo Awards will be Spider-Man 2. I had to give it a Spider-Man 2. I literally gave it a 100% on the Bravo barometer. It was a perfect sequel. I think it's the best Spider-Man PlayStation game yet. I think it's better than the first one. I think it's better than Miles Morales. I think the gameplay is better. The story's the best. It just improved on everything. It did exactly what a sequel should do. It was bigger and better. It was great. I literally have no complaints. That's why I got it 100%. I loved every second of it. I'm probably going to replay it. I loved it. I'm kind of sad of how quick I beat it, just because I did like long streams because I just didn't want to put the controller down. So I want to replay it on my own just so I can really take it all in. But it gave me my favorite version of Venom that I've ever seen. And this is a hot take. Yuri Lowenthal as Spider-Man in these PlayStation Spider-Man games has become my favorite Spider-Man of all time. That it's a hot take, but I'd be lying if I said otherwise. He's just literally the perfect Spider-Man to me. He's the perfect Spider-Man. So I love this game so much. I could go on and on about it, but we have a lot of other awards to hand out. I thought this game was perfect, and to be honest, it wasn't that close. I love Jedi Survivor also, but the launch was so buggy that it just didn't really have a shot. Where I know some people had bugs when this game came out. I didn't have any. I just had an unbelievably amazing time. And it basically took the world by storm. Like, it was the only thing that was being talked about for like a couple weeks. It was so good. So now we have the nomination for the best hero. So basically just my favorite like protagonists of the year. Again, we have Spider-Man. We have Blue Beetle. We have Star-Lord and Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We have Ahsoka from the Ahsoka TV show. And we have Samantha Carpenter from Scream 6. It's a pretty solid list. A lot of good choices. But the Bravo Award for Best Hero goes to Spider-Man. And to be honest, it's not really fair because of the amount of Spider-Man content that came out this year. This award technically is being shared by Peter from Spider-Man 2 PS5 and Miles Morales from Across the Spider-Verse. So really, this was like, it just wasn't a fair fight. Like, Spider-Man was basically 2v1ing everybody else. You know, it is what it is. You know, there was so much Spider-Man content that came out this year. It was hard to not give Best Hero to Spider-Man this year. I mean, it was the year of Spider-Man. Movies and video game. Like, it was just so tough. And arguably the best Spider-Man video game of all time. And if someone said Across the Spider-Verse was the best Spider-Man movie of all time, you know, I wouldn't disagree. So, you know, I wouldn't look at you sideways. So it kind of had to go to it. And again, Peter from the Spider-Man games has turned into my favorite Spider-Man. And then Miles from the Spider-Verse movies is also one of my favorite Spider-Mans of all time. So it was like, it had to happen, chat. It had to happen. It's not really fair. I feel a little dirty about it, but like there was no other option. Ahsoka was a close second. I will say that Ahsoka was a very close second, but it was a 2v1, you know. It is what it is. But Spider-Man takes home the award for Best Hero. So naturally, Best Villain of the Year. Best Villain of the Year. We've got Ghostface from Scream 6. We've got John Cava from Thanksgiving. We've got Balin Skull from Ahsoka, R.I.P. Ray Stevenson. We got David from The Last of Us. We have Spot from Spider-Verse. And we have Venom from Spider-Man 2 PS5. You love to see it. I love Ahsoka too. You are a very well-cultured individual. You know, great taste. Great taste. Yeah, everybody say hi to Nightbot, the greatest bot on the face of the earth if you're on Twitch. So the winner for best villain, this was a tough one. This was another very tough. A lot of these categories were tough, dude. Like, this took me a long time to pick the winners. But villain of the year is going to go to Venom from Spider-Man 2. Because like I just said a second ago, this is my favorite version of Venom of all time. And you have Tony fucking Todd voicing Venom. Candyman himself voicing Venom. Like, that's the most perfect voice casting I've ever seen. When I found out that Tony Todd was voicing Venom, I creamed my jeans, like, explosively. Like, I couldn't believe it. Tony Todd is a legend, and I really don't want to hear another Venom voice besides Tony Todd. Like, he crushed it. And then also you got the 19 inches of Venom meme with the statue that I have in the other room. I probably should have brought it over here to show it off, but you know, 19 inches of Venom, had to do it. But yeah, this was a no-brainer for me. It was a tough category. It was, but I just couldn't do it. And I'm not going to spoil anything about the game, but if you played the game, you understand. Like, Tony Todd himself as Venom is perfection, and then I think who ended up being Venom is also perfection. Like, everything just it clicked, just beautiful. So now we've got another fun award right here. We got the biggest surprise of the year. Yeah, if I could just listen to Tony Todd talk for hours, bro, and I would be moist. I'd be moist for hours and hours on end. What? No. Yeah, I would. Biggest surprise of the year. Basically, this award is for stuff that I went into expecting it to be bad or mid, you know, or just kind of like, you know, I don't know how this is going to turn out. That's kind of how I picked these nominees. So the first nomination is Thanksgiving. Then we've got Barbie, Saw X, Evil Dead Rise, and Blue Beetle. I was, you know, cautious about all of these, but the one that's going to take this award home is going to be Thanksgiving, because I thought this movie looked stupid. Like, I thought it looked dumb. You know, like some of the other movies, I was like, that just doesn't look great. But this one, I was like, what the fuck is this, bro? Like, I would go and see movies and I see this trailer, be like, what is this? Like, why? Why is this happening? What is this? Why? How did this get made? You know? And then on top of it, you know, I'm a Scream fanboy. I was like, this just looks like a shitty ripoff of Scream, but set during Thanksgiving. Like, why are we doing this? And then I left the theater and I loved it. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. I couldn't believe it. Like, I was sitting there watching it. I was like, why is this so much fun? Why am I loving this so much? Like, I need this to come out on Blu-ray, and I'm going to buy it the second it comes out on Blu-ray from whoever still sells Blu-rays in 2024. I just punched my mic because I'm pissed that I can't buy Blu-rays at Best Buy anymore. As soon as this comes out, I'm buying it, and I'm rewatching it. And this is going to turn into my Thanksgiving movie every year. I don't really have a Thanksgiving movie to watch, you know? There's Halloween movies, there's Christmas movies. I got a Thanksgiving movie now, and it's great, and I love it. So it's going to be a yearly watch for me because I liked it that much. I mean, this movie has fucking Addison Rae in it, and it's good. You know what I mean? Like, it had to win Biggest Surprise. It just, you put someone from TikTok in a movie and it wasn't shit. Like, congratulations, it was good. And instead of it ripping off Scream, it paid homage. It wasn't just a cheap knockoff. Like, it showed love to the slasher franchises that came before it. I just really, really love this movie. If you're a horror fan and you missed this one somehow, you need to check this out. Yeah, Thanksgiving was great. So much fun. You don't go in expecting it to be, like a world-changing experience. It's just a really, really fun slasher movie that knows exactly what it is and exactly what it's doing and what it needs to do, and it does it. It was such a great time. So now we've got the Bravo Award nominations for the best show of the year. So I'm gonna be real, chat. I am horrible, the worst at watching TV shows. I really am. You could basically name some of like the biggest shows of all time, and I probably haven't seen them. I've seen Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. That's it. I haven't seen The Sopranos. I haven't seen Game of Thrones. Roast me. Like I'm really bad at watching TV. So I picked some good ones this year though, because the nominations are Barry, which it was the final season. I gotta say, in fairness, the final season of Barry was probably my least favorite, but it's one of my favorite shows of all time. I love it. Ahsoka, I think one of the best Star Wars shows of all time. The Bear, unbelievable show. If you guys have not seen The Bear, watch The Bear. Oh my God. And The Last of Us. I feel like if you know me, you know what's about to happen. But anyway, why they put The Bear in comedy? I mean, it's funny at times, but comedy, yeah, I felt the exact same way. The Bear is not a comedy. It's got some really funny parts in it, but it's a pretty heavy show emotionally. I feel like putting it in the comedy section at award shows is kind of like disrespectful in a way, but it is what it is. We're not going to do that. It's just up for best show. But the winner of best show is going to go to The Last of Us. I have a Last of Us tattoo. You guys knew this was going to happen. I have an Ellie and Joel statue right here off camera. This was going to happen. To me, it's the best video game adaptation of all time, but I haven't seen every single video game adaptation, so I can't, say that for sure. But I've seen a good amount of video game adaptations, and most of them are absolute dog dookie. So this one is just, the king of the hill. Like, this is a god amongst poop, like, it's not even close. This show went so hard. The acting and the filmmaking are incredible. And then on top of just being an extraordinarily well-made show, it changes things, but the changes that they made make sense and add some interesting lore to the universe. Because like now when I play the games, I can have like little, threads in my head from the show that can like, because the games don't answer everything. Some stuff's, left a little, foggy on purpose, just, to add some mystery and, stuff like that. But now when I go and I play the game, I can have like a little, some thoughts in my head, be like, oh, well, this is Ellie's mom, and this is, stuff like that. And it was just handled so well. The things that they changed made sense, and they're done well, and they're not stupid. They add instead of take away. And then they kept they kept most of the things that I wanted to see adapted, like they kept a lot of the iconic scenes, a lot of the iconic moments, and they did it well. They did it well. They didn't butcher anything. Like, I don't think about, they really fucked up that scene. Like, no, everything they did straight directly from the game worked really well. Like, there's certain scenes where they just straight ripped the dialogue, even like the shot composition, like they just literally ripped it from the game and put it on the screen. Like, and they did it great. Like, it's just such a well done adaptation, really like a damn near perfect adaptation. I have a couple little nitpicks with it because I'm just a sweaty Last of Us nerd fanboy, so of course I do. But this put The Last of Us in front of a whole new audience, and I'm so happy that it did, because in my opinion, The Last of Us is the greatest video game of all time. You can roast me, I don't care. And The Last of Us's story and characters have impacted me like very few things have. So I'm happy that a lot of other people that wouldn't have gotten to experience the story have experienced it because of this amazing show. So it was the only option for show of the year for me. You know, it had to win. It had to win. So there you go. Yeah, Nick Offerman got an award. Storm Reed, you know, all kinds, like, yeah, it cleaned up at the Emmys. It absolutely cleaned up at the Emmys, and I'm so happy. I hope it brings a couple more home. I don't know. Succession is a beast. I haven't seen Succession, so I can't like shit on it or anything, but it's just annoying that it's just running through everything, but it is what it is. And Yazerski, how you doing, Joe? What up, what up, what up? Glad to have you in chat. And I'm happy that the Bravo Awards are back. One of the best times of the year. So yeah, TV show of the year, Bravo Award, The Last of Us. Who would have saw that coming? I know, shocking. And it's funny you talk about music. It is funny that you talk about the soundtrack, because now we have the nominations for Best Score. And what we got right now, we got Ahsoka, The Mandalorian, Oppenheimer, The Last of Us, Across the Spider-Verse, and Killers of the Flower Moon. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Spider-Man 2, the PS5 game. For some reason, I was just really locked into like movies and TV shows when I was making these nominations. And then I thought after a while, I was like, why did I not even think about the video games? Because if I would have thought about video games when I was making these nominations, Spider-Man 2 probably would have been there. Just for Kraven the Hunter's theme alone, to be honest. So I decided to give it a little shout out. I wasn't going to change the nominations before the show, you know. If you want to watch over on Twitch, it's the same exact thing. It is Gianni Bravo 6. The only difference is on YouTube, it's Gianni space Bravo 6. On Twitch, it's just Gianni Bravo 6. That's the only difference. So yeah, those are the nominees. I thank you for the follow. Is it Pokey or is it Pokey? I don't want to say it. Is it Pokemon? Let me know what you want to be called in chat, how to pronounce it. I don't want to say your name wrong, but thank you for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate you. But the Bravo Award for Best Score is going to go to The Last of Us. You know? Hey. Jeff must have, you know, he hacked into the mainframe. He saw the awards, you know. I didn't want to spoil it, you know, but, you know, Jeff got a little insider access there. Shocking. I know The Last of Us winning again on my channel. Ooh. Who would have thought? Shocking. I know. But I'd just be lying. Because, like my notes say right here, The Last of Us has my favorite music out of any game ever. The music in The Last of Us is phenomenal. Chat, if you have Apple Music and you want my Last of Us playlist, I got you. I made a playlist of Last of Us music on Apple Music. It's one of the only scores that I listen to in general. Like I usually just listen to, you know, like normal music. The only exceptions I make is usually Star Wars and The Last of Us. That's how much I love the music from The Last of Us. It is phenomenal. Like I said right there, Gustavo Santaolalla, I think that's how you pronounce his name, is a musical fucking genius. He's an Oscar-winning composer, and he just made magic on the game and the show. He used a lot of the iconic themes from part 1 and 2, which was surprising that he even dipped into his part 2 back in season 1, but I did not mind it because both soundtracks are just perfection. And then he added some, you know, sprinkled some new flavors on there too. Like just the music is just beautiful, haunting, sad. Like it's just, oh my God, I'm getting aroused. All right, let's move on. Oh, I got your name right. Cool. Cool. I'm glad this is making you happy. I'm glad. I'm not getting flamed in chat right now. Like I said, if I'm making bad takes, let me know in chat. So now we got the Bravo Award nominees for Best Cinematography. We've got The Bear, John Wick 4, Oppenheimer, The Last of Us, Across the Spider-Verse, and Killers of the Flower Moon. This, yet again, I mean, a lot of these categories are really tough. This was a tough one. I had to think for a second about this one. But in my heart of hearts, I knew where I was going. So the Bravo Award for Best Cinematography goes to Oppenheimer. It had to. Oppenheimer is just visually striking. Like, Hoyt van Hoytema is one of the best cinematographers alive, you know? He's just incredible. He did Dunkirk 2 for Christopher Nolan. He might have even done Tenet also. You can fact check me on that, chat. I'm not sure if he did Tenet. But Hoyt van Hoytema is just such a talented cinematographer. He's got a great eye. And this movie's got a lot going on visually. You know, you've got the black and white sections. You've got the regular, just like in color sections. And then you have all the in-camera effects and how they shot that. Like, the bomb sequence is gorgeous. How you can just see like the random like brain waves and stuff. like when Oppenheimer's thinking, like, it's just insane. Like, the movie is just visually stunning. There's just some shots that literally made my jaw drop, and it blew me away. It's one of the best looking movies I've seen, to be honest. Like, it's so well shot. It's just gorgeous. You know, the use of the different cameras, you know, IMAX obviously, and then just like, you know, your regular standard, I'm not super technical with cameras, but, you know, going back and forth between like your regular cameras and then IMAX, like, it's crazy. Just so good. So good. It had to take this Bravo Award home. I'm about 90% sure Oppenheimer will sweep the Oscars. Looking for all the awards. It shows Oppenheimer doing so well. Yeah, I mean, I think Oppenheimer's a masterpiece. So I really want to see Christopher Nolan get his flowers this year from like the, you know, the big award shows. If Christopher Nolan doesn't win an Oscar for directing Oppenheimer, we're going to riot, dude. We're going to have to throw hands. We're going to have to picket outside the Academy. You know, like, we're going to have to go crazy. If he doesn't win for Oppenheimer, he's never going to win an Oscar unless they just throw him like a legacy Oscar at some point. Like, it's crazy that he hasn't won yet, but it is what it is. Best Director nomination. Segue into the Best Director nominations. Another stacked list. The first two, there's like a group, like groups of directors. So we have the Across the Spider-Verse team. I believe there's like 3 directors on Spider-Verse. We have the Last of Us team, which I think pretty like almost every episode has a different director except for a couple. I think some directors did like a couple episodes, but the whole Last of Us team. Then we've got Greta Gerwig for Barbie. We got Chad Stahelski for John Wick 4, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, and Marty for Killers of the Flower Moon. A stacked category again, chat. You know, this was a good year. And the Bravo Award for Best Director goes to Christopher Nolan. I mean, I don't want to be one of those internet bros that jerks off Christopher Nolan, but I am. And I'm cool with it. I've come to terms with it. It is what it is. I love Christopher Nolan. He's one of my favorite directors of all time. This man just, you know, every time he makes a movie, it's an event. I'm happy that Oppenheimer did as well as it did. And it's crazy. Like, it's one of his best movies for sure. Like, it's definitely in the upper echelon of Christopher Nolan movies. Like, for me, it's up there with The Dark Knight Rises, Inception, And I'd put Oppenheimer right there too with all those. Hot take, I love The Dark Knight Rises a lot more than a lot of other people do, but I do. It's up there with his best. And arguably, it could be like the hardest movie that he's had to direct. Arguably, it's probably Inception, but this is up there. Like this was a very hard movie to make. And it's just impressive. Like when you watch Oppenheimer, like at least me, like I was so blown away and impressed by the movie and what I was watching. Like when those credits rolled, I was just like, wow. And I saw it with my mom, because she loves Christopher Nolan too. And you know, with all like the like courtroom stuff and everything, I when the credits rolled, I looked at her and I was like, that's Christopher Nolan's Godfather. That's like his masterpiece. That was like incredible. And I'm not even a like massive Godfather fan, you know. I'm Italian, that's blasphemous, you know, it is what it is. Well, we're not even gonna open that jar of worms. But I was just sitting there, I was like, this is just so objectively amazing. And he just reached deep into his filmmaking bag. Like this is like Oppenheimer is an achievement. He cooked. Like we're talking Gordon Ramsay, Carmy from The Bear, like he was fucking cooking. And he had to win this award. He had to. And yeah, you know, self-acceptance and self-realization is key in life, you know? I'm a Travis Scott glazer. I'm a Christopher Nolan glazer. It is what it is. It is what it is. And yeah, Robert Downey Jr., I'm happy he won that Golden Globe. A great performance from Robert Downey Jr. as well, yeah. Everybody, phenomenal. Even the people that have like a couple lines of dialogue in Oppenheimer did a great job. The main one that comes to mind is Rami Malek, bro. Holy fuck. He was barely in it, but bro cooked. He went hard. Okay. So now we've got the Bravo Award nominees for Best Supporting Actress. Now, chat, I don't know if you guys remember who tuned in for the nominations. Originally, I only had 5 nominations, but I rewatched a movie and I added a 6th one. I'll let you know which one it is. But the nominees are Emily Blunt from Oppenheimer, Ayo Edebiri for The Bear, Alyssa Sutherland for Evil Dead Rise, Anna Torv for The Last of Us, Merle Dandridge for The Last of Us, and the nomination that hit a buzzer beater, Luna Lauren Velez from Across the Spider-Verse. And the winner of the Best Supporting Actress Bravo Award goes to Luna Lauren Velez from Across the Spider-Verse. Now, this is my hottest take of the entire award show. And this is the biggest underdog story in the history of mankind. Because she went from not even being fucking nominated to taking home the trophy. And you know why? It's because on my birthday, I was dying with the flu still. I was like, I need to watch a movie that makes me feel good right now on my birthday. So I put on Spider-Verse. And bro, it all came back to me. Because I've seen this movie like 4 times now. Let me know if you know what scene I'm talking about. The rooftop scene with Rio and Miles. Like the conversation they have when Gwen leaves and Jeff leaves, and it's just Rio and Miles talking to each other before he goes after Gwen and goes into the Spider-Verse. Dude. That scene makes me cry every time. Every single time. Like cry. Like, it's, oh my God, it's an amazing scene. It's such an amazing scene. And I don't know if it's because I have a close relationship with my mom, so the conversation just kind of hits me there. Like, I don't know what it is, but that scene wrecks me. Every time I watch it, I cry. Every time. Like, it's not even like a single teardrop, like it's multiple tears. Like, I don't know what it is, but her performance in that scene alone is just so powerful. And it's a voiceover performance. Like, it's so impressive to me that I really sat there and I looked at that list and I was like, is it objectively the best performance? No, but it's the one that's impacted me the most, because that scene is just, oof. The waterworks. I don't know what it is. It hits for me. So literally that alone got her this award. Great voiceover work. Rio's a baddie. We know this. And then also the little joke where like, oh, you shoot silk out of your colito? Like, one of the best jokes in the movie. Like, I had to do it. It's a hot take, but it is what it is. My award show. God damn it. So I did it. I did it. Yes. I said what I said. It's okay. Now, this is Murderer's Row. This was by far the hardest category for me to pick. Like, hands down. It was so difficult for me to choose this. I chose this at 2:00 in the morning last night. I locked it in. Like, this was a buzzer beater. And we were talking about the nominations for Best Supporting Actor. We've got Ryan Gosling in Barbie, Ray Stevenson in Ahsoka, R.I.P., Anthony Carrigan in Barry, Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer. Hopefully I say his name right. Ebon Moss-Bachrach from The Bear, and Robert De Niro from Killers of the Flower Moon. And I had to give some more Last of Us love. I had to shout out Gabriel Luna, who plays Tommy, Nick Offerman, who plays, oh God, I just drew a massive blank, Bill, Jesus, and Lamar Johnson, who plays Henry. I didn't want to just stack it up with Last of Us nominations, so I chose to just, I couldn't pick one of them. Because that's the thing with The Last of Us, is they all kind of have like one episode or like an episode or two, and then that's it. So like it was hard to pick. So I just left them out and I just gave them all shout out. But this category, man, this category was rough. I basically got stuck on about 3 or 4 that I wanted to give it to. But there can only be one. And in my gut, I knew where I was going. I knew who had to take home this trophy. The Bravo Award for Best Supporting Actor goes to Robert De Niro in Killers of the Flower Moon. Dude, this was so tough. At one point, I gave it to Robert Downey Jr. At one point, I gave it to Ryan Gosling. And at one point, I considered giving it to Anthony Carrigan from Barry, because NoHo Hank is my favorite character in Barry. But he was just lurking the entire time with that face, a little bit. You insulted me a little bit. He was just sitting there the whole time. I was like, dude. I just kept coming back to him. I was like, dude. It's like, but Robert fucking De Niro. I just couldn't. I knew it. I knew it deep down. It just took me a while to accept that it had to be good old Bob, it had to be. And there's not much to say Robert De Niro is a living fucking legend. He's one of the greatest actors to ever walk on the face of the earth. His performance reminded me a little bit of his performance in Cape Fear because of like the southern drawl he uses. Also with Jimmy from Goodfellas. It's such an amazing performance. And when you're stealing every scene you're in and you're on screen with Leonardo DiCaprio, the greatest actor to ever walk the face of the earth, and you're stealing scenes from him, that's how you know you're cooking. Like, that's how you know you're fucking on a perk 30. Like, that's how you know you're a bad bitch. And Robert De Niro is a bad bitch. Look at that snarl, dude. He had to take it. He had to. Unbelievable performance. Like, every time he's on screen, I was locked in. I was locked in. It's so good. And yes, I know this movie's a commitment. It is 3.5 hours long, and it is a dark, heavy movie. It is not an easy watch, but this movie's so fucking good, bro. This movie is so good. I wish I could have given it more awards, to be honest, because I love this movie. I definitely needed to rewatch it too. I only saw it the one time. It wasn't in theaters that long, and I'm not paying like $20 to rent it on Apple. That's stupid. I hope it gets a Blu-ray release sometime soon. I need to rewatch this thing. This movie is unbelievable. Robert De Niro is unbelievable. And bro, Martin Scorsese, like he's still just making masterpieces. And how old is he? Like 80? And he arguably just made one of the best, like he arguably just made like a top 5 movie that he's ever made. Like, bro is unreal. Like, we need to appreciate these legends while they're still here. So Robert De Niro had to take this home. He had to. Hey man, that means a lot. I'm glad that you're enjoying this. I hope you guys are all enjoying this. I'm having a great time doing it. And even though it's so stressful putting it together, I have a great time doing this every year. I just love talking about movies and shows and everything with you guys. That's why I'm here streaming in the first place. But that makes me so happy. I'm glad you guys are watching it and enjoying it. Another stacked. I mean, these categories are just stacked now. You know, we're here. We're at the peak. You know, these are the big boy awards. We've got Best Lead Actress. And the nominees: Rosario Dawson for Ahsoka, which I know is probably a hot take also, because people just like to shit on her as Ahsoka for some reason, but she's great. Kiss my ass, I don't care. Margot Robbie as Barbie. Mama. Melissa Barrera in Scream 6. Bella Ramsey in The Last of Us. Haley Steinfeld in Across the Spider-Verse. And Lily Gladstone from Killers of the Flower Moon. Again, I was thinking about going two different directions with this one. But I put the bias aside for my wife, Margot Robbie. She's my wife. She just doesn't know it yet. I had to put my bias aside, and I gave the Bravo Award to Bella Ramsey. I put my bias for her aside to go with my other bias, which is The Last of Us. So I was between my two biases. I was like, which bias is going to out-bias the other bias? And The Last of Us took it. It did. But nah. Bella Ramsey was unbelievable in this fucking show. I'm not going to lie. When she got cast, I was disappointed. Or when they got cast, I'm sorry, I was disappointed. My fan casting was Sadie Sink, because she was a ginger and she looks more like Ellie. But when I watched the show, even like a little bit in the first episode, I already saw the vision. But like when we started getting later, like episode 2, 3, I think it might have been 2, I realized, I was like, they are Ellie. It's just like the spirit, like it's crazy how accurate the performance is. Like it's the spirit of Ellie just in somebody else. It's like Ashley Johnson like just transferred some of her soul to Bella and just absolutely cooked. Such a just perfect adaptation of Ellie. Honestly, Ellie is the hardest character to cast in The Last of Us. And she's arguably the most important character to cast in The Last of Us, because Ellie is so much Ashley Johnson. It's hard to even like think of Ellie being anybody else but her. But Bella did it. Like I was just sitting there, I was like, wow, like this is Ellie. Like this is Ellie. Like just perfection. It was so good. Like shockingly good. Even like Bella's voice is different than Ashley's, but even sometimes I was just like, wow, like that even sounds like how Ashley would have said. Like it was just, I know it's not fair to just compare Ashley and Bella, you know, but I can't help it. You know, The Last of Us is my baby and Ellie's Ellie. Like I'm going to compare to the game, even if it's fair or not. And Bella just destroyed it. Absolutely destroyed it. And like I said, Ellie's such a complicated character. You got to be funny. You got to be able to be serious and dark. And, you know, even more so when we get to season 2 and part 2. And Bella crushed it. Bella absolutely crushed it. There was no other way I could have gone. It had to be Bella. And that's it. I could keep rambling on, but you guys get it. Exactly. So vulnerable and strong-headed. And that's Ellie. And that's Ellie to a T. Like, that's what I mean. Like, it was just absolutely perfect casting. And even like, you know, I listened, because I'm a real sweaty nerd. I listened to the post-show podcast with Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin, and they were talking about when they casted Bella, Neil was like, whoa, like that's literally the spirit of Ashley in somebody else. And he said, that's how I knew that Bella was Ellie. And yeah. We did get a lot of casting updates on season 2, and a lot of them got me excited. And I'm pretty sure I saw on Twitter that season 2 is going to start filming in about 27 days, I think is what I saw. So it's going to start filming in about a month. I'm pretty sure it's back in Calgary, Canada, is what I heard. That's just what I heard, though. I don't know. And chat, I don't want to be the guy who plugs something while doing a stream, but I will say, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered comes out this Friday. I will be streaming The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered this Friday when it comes out. Now, if you choose to watch, that's up to you, because it technically will spoil the show. But if you want to have an idea of what's going to happen, tune into the stream. I've been talking about forever how The Last of Us Part 2 is the most divisive game of all time. If you want to see why, if you want to take the journey early so you can be more excited for the show and get prepared for the show and see how well the show adapts the game, tune into my Last of Us Part 2 streams that are coming very, very soon, starting Friday when it drops. Do with that information what you will. But that's what we're going to be streaming on Friday until we beat it. Anyway, done plugging myself. And now, we have come to the end the final category. Best lead actor. And again, stacked lineup. Another tough one. We've got Bill Hader from Barry, Cillian Murphy from Oppenheimer, Pedro Pascal from The Last of Us, Jeremy Allen White from The Bear, Shameik Moore from Across the Spider-Verse, and Leonardo DiCaprio from Killers of the Flower Moon. This was tough, chat. This was tough. But, yet again, in my heart of hearts, I knew exactly where I was going. The winner of the Best Lead Actor at the second annual Bravo Awards goes to Pedro Pascal in The Last of Us. Had to do it. It's law. It's law. Like I was required by law to pick Pedro Pascal. And I want you guys again. I just, Leonardo DiCaprio is my favorite actor of all time. Cillian Murphy just absolutely bodied Oppenheimer. Had to go with Pedro though. And I knew it from the start. I thought about it long and hard, but had to go Pedro. Had to do it. It's a different version of Joel than what we have in the game. It's the realistic version of Joel. Because in the game, you get the moments of like vulnerability and, it's all there. But Joel in the game is much more of just a brutal one-man wrecking crew that kind of keeps his emotions lock and key. Where Pedro's Joel is having panic attacks and like not sure of himself, and he's deaf in one ear. He's not physically, all the way there. Where like Joel in the video game is just a fucking unit. So I appreciated the realistic take on Joel. And Pedro's performance is just, it's crazy. It's such a subtle performance. It's not a loud, grand, look at me performance. It's very subtle. It's very calculated. And like Scarface, the eyes, Chico, the eyes. So much acting with his eyes. Like, this man made me cry just because of his eyes. like in some scenes, I'd be like, Jesus, like he's really going in right now. Like the monologue with Tommy when they're at Jackson and they're in that little workshop, and he just has that conversation with Tommy basically about how he's a failure. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. Are you fucking serious? Are you kidding me? Come on, dude. And then, like I said, he just made me cry so much, bro. Like, so many times. Like, Pedro, fucking chill, bro. I gotta watch the show with fucking tissues just because of you. I mean, I gotta play the game with tissues too, but like, damn, dude. I was sitting there and it's like, it was because of him. Like, that monologue with Tommy isn't in the game. They added that for the show and it's amazing. And that scene got me. The scene I'm talking about where like just his eyes got me is when, after he gets injured and he's in the basement and he tells Ellie to leave him, but she comes back with the medicine and he, dude, I'm going to even like tear up thinking about it. And he's like so happy that she's staying to help him, and she's like injecting him, and he's just like looking at her and he's like crying. I was like, dude, I was like, no way. And that got me too. Like, I was like, dude, just, he didn't even say a word. It's just his face. I was like, dude, I'm crying, and he didn't even do anything. It's just his face, bro. He just said it all with his face. Like, it's so great. I mean, there's just so many scenes. And then the scene when he's talking about in the finale, like how he got the scar on his forehead with the guy that shot and missed was me. And then he's talking about, you know, it wasn't what did he say? It wasn't the time that did it or something, when he's talking about Ellie. That scene too. Oh my god, dude. Like, there's just so many scenes where this man made me fucking bawl my eyes out. Like, I had to give it to Pedro. He literally emotionally fucking assaulted me, dude. Like, it was I got, like, he was just, oh man, he was doing it to me. Pause. Not really. Hey, yo. I don't know. Like, it was just, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. So good. So good. Unbelievable performance from Pedro. And I cannot wait to see more. I cannot wait to see more. Just so good. So good. I could talk about The Last of Us forever. So we'll wrap it up there. But that was the last award, chat. That was the last award. So I figured, you know, we do like a little roundup at the end. You do a little scoreboard. The big winners of the night, you know, it was very Last of Us heavy. I'm sorry. I had like I said, I'm a Last of Us fanboy. I have a Last of Us tattoo. I got merch all over my room and shit. Like, I went crazy with the Last of Us awards. It's true to me. You know, it's my award show. It's my award show. It's how I'm feeling. So there's bias. You know, there is bias, but that's all part of it, you know. But I at least feel like I had good reasonings for my choices. It's not just, you know, I'm picking this because I said so. I really sat there and I thought about everything. I wrote out little reasons why. But that's just, you know, that's a summary of my 2023. Like, my favorite things that came out were The Last of Us, Spider-Man 2, and Oppenheimer, and Across the Spider-Verse, and then even Killers of the Flower Moon got an award and stuff. So it's a nice little like looking back on everything that came out this year, and everything that's on the scoreboard right now were just some of the highlights of the year for me. So that's gonna do it for the Bravo Awards this year. And hey, I appreciate all the kind words in chat. I appreciate you guys for coming out. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Is there, you know, like I said at the top of the stream, we're gonna keep doing this every year. I want to keep improving it every year. So I'm gonna need to, you guys gotta let me know like what categories you'd want to see added, or if you like everything the way it is. If I listened to more music, there would have been a best song, there would have been a best beat, a best feature. You know, I'm more of like a rap fan, so the awards would have been a little bit more like rap and hip hoppy. So it would have been like best album, best song, best beat, best feature, all that kind of stuff. But I just didn't listen to enough music this year where I felt like putting nominations together. Like, I feel like it would have been shitty. So I just didn't even do it. But this year I'm definitely going to listen to more music so I can do that moving forward. So there's going to be more music awards next year. But yeah, let me know if there's anything you guys want to see added. You know, I'll ask you guys again when it's this time of year next year, or this year, whatever. When we get closer to like the award season, you know, at the end of this year, I'll bring it up to you guys, and you guys can give me your feedback on what you guys think. But what do you guys feel overall? Did I pick some good picks? Did I cook? I know you're happy with the picks, Jeff. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, The Last of Us soundtrack had to win. Absolutely. So yeah, that it had to be. It had to be. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this year's Bravo Awards, man. It's been a long road to get here. I wish I got this out a little bit earlier, but the flu just kicked my ass. But I had a really good time putting these nominations together. And even though picking the winners could be stressful, I still had a good time, picking all the winners and everything. So yeah, that's a wrap on that. And chat, thank you guys so much for coming out. I appreciate you guys so much. Makes me happy to see you guys enjoy this. And it just makes me more and more excited to, keep on doing this. And, to just motivate me to make the show even better next year. I wanted to, like I said, I want to figure out a way to like almost have like some community awards or something, like have you guys like pick some things. Like I don't really know how I necessarily do that, but like I said, if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. I'm going to be cooking all year in the background, trying to come up with ideas to, spice it up, keep it fresh and exciting. But that is going to do it for today, chat. That's going to do it for this year's Bravo Awards. Like I said, thank you guys so much for coming out. I appreciate it. Before I head out, I will be live Wednesday, but I'll probably be live on Chainsaw Reacts channel. I'm assuming I'm probably going to be on Council of Creators. I didn't really announce it or say anything because it was kind of like a private DM thing, but I'm going to put it out there. Council of Creators have been going so well that Chainsaw wanted me to be like a permanent co-host of the show. So basically, as long as I keep getting links to join the show, I'm going to be there as long as I'm healthy and I'm, not, on vacation or something. Like, I don't know. So as long as he keeps having me, I'm going to keep being there. So for the foreseeable future, every Wednesday, I'll probably be on Council of Creators over on Chainsaw Reacts YouTube channel. And I'll keep posting the links in the Discord if you guys want to tune in and join that. I know it's kind of like different than the content that I make, and the whole vibe and the topics and stuff are different. But if you want to go over there and check me out in like a different setting with some other great creators and stuff, that's a good way to do that. But for my own like personal stream, next stream will probably be maybe Thursday, definitely Friday. For sure Friday, because that's when The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered comes out. So I'll definitely be live Friday for sure. Maybe Thursday. I'm not sure. Just stay tuned to the Discord if you're in the Discord, and just keep your eye out on YouTube to see if I schedule any streams. Also, since some of you guys are in here, I wanted to apologize again. I don't know if you guys saw my apologies in the Discord or on YouTube community tab, but this year, as you guys can tell, I've been multi-streaming. That's one of my goals for this year too. I've been multi-streaming. So what that means is I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. I'm still figuring it out. This software is better than my normal software, where I actually saw every single message from Twitch and from YouTube, But yesterday I had a malfunction on my normal software where for some reason I was only getting, I was getting YouTube and Twitch messages at the start. But then after a while, I don't know if it's because the Twitch chat just started going crazy, like nonstop messages, that I just ignored YouTube. But after a while, it just stopped sending me YouTube messages. So I only saw the Twitch chat. So if you guys were in the stream yesterday on YouTube, I'm sorry. I did not ignore you guys. I literally did not see the messages until I went on YouTube and checked and saw just like mad messages that I just didn't even see. So I hopefully found a fix for that. So the next streams, hopefully I'll see everything. So again, I'm sorry to everyone that watched on YouTube last night. The messages stopped coming through for some reason after a while. But yeah, if you guys want to, tune in on my YouTube, Gianni Bravo 6. If you guys want to tune in on my Twitch, Gianni Bravo 6. Either way. But I will say, YouTube is probably the most convenient place to watch the streams because of just the YouTube app is a little bit better than Twitch, but Twitch is a more interactive place to watch my streams because there's channel points that you can earn and you can redeem them for different rewards that I have to, do on stream, like wearing my Patrick onesie, or if I'm playing a game, you can like ban actions or choose stuff for me to do in the game. There's also some free emotes, and then if you also subscribe on Twitch, you get even more emotes and cool badges in chat. If you have an Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch sub, so you don't have to pay out of your own pocket to support me. You pay with Jeff Bezos's money, and it goes straight into my pocket, which is great. So if you want to support me financially, head over to Twitch as well and sub to me with Jeff Bezos's money. If you have an Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription every month. But yeah, so that's what we got cooking right now. We're multi-streaming on YouTube and Twitch. We're doing Council of Creators every Wednesday, I'm pretty sure, on Chainsaw Reacts' channel. And we're also doing my own streams, and they're going to be on YouTube and Twitch. Except for my music streams, they will only be on Twitch because YouTube copyright. But yeah, next time I'll be live will possibly be Thursday, but definitely be Friday for The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. So if you guys want to watch that, make sure to tune to that. That's going to be a crazy stream. Thursday might be live, like I said. Just make sure to stay tuned in the Discord for any updates, and just keep your eye on YouTube, whether it's the community tab or just my I schedule my streams so you can see them on my channel. But yeah, that's all that. Whew, a lot of information. Yeah, that was harder to do than the award show. That was a lot of info. But I just wanted to give you guys some updates because I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things after being sick for a while, so there's a lot of stuff going on. I want to keep you guys updated so you know what's happening. But yeah, that's going to do it, chat. Again, really, thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream. It means the world to me that you guys even cared about what the fuck, award show I'm doing. The fact that you guys even came out and watched and were engaged and like enjoying it means so much to me. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching it and talking to me in chat. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Pokemon. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Kyle. Everybody that's been in chat. I appreciate you guys. Much love. I'll catch you guys in the next one. You guys know where to find me. Peace out, everybody. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night tonight. Have a good day tomorrow and Wednesday, and I'll possibly see you guys on Thursday, definitely Friday. But until then, Bravo 6 going dark. Take care, guys.